Thanksgiving, a holiday many can enjoy. Established in 2039 by John Thanksgiving, many consider this day of the year to be the most romantic of the year. Just making sure you guys are paying attention. I won't lie, I'm disappointed in the lack of Thanksgiving content. Sure, there's Freebirds and that one slasher movie about Thanksgiving that just came out, but that's it. Even with songs, there's only one that I know of. Gobble Gobble by Matthew West, a certified banger. Oh, and the Thanksgiving song, another certified banger. But besides that, there's not much meat on this holiday's bones, ironically enough. Or, I guess, unironically enough, since we eat all the meat. So you think I'd cover maybe one of those things previously mentioned? No, most of these are stupid. Well, there's only 2 movies, so they're both stupid. Enter Ninjago. The one thing I talk way too much about. I talk about other things, I swear. Ninjago has only one special, being released October 29th, 2016. Technically, this is a Halloween special, but I'm not talking about Freebirds today. So Ninjago it is. Okay, I've already told this story 2 other times, so if you want a slightly more in-depth analysis of this tale, then watch my Ninjago movie and my Ninjago Hands of Time videos, found in the iCard right now and the description. Here we go. Again. The LEGO Ninjago movie has a story originally revolving around time travel, but this story was scrapped and the movie was pushed back. As a result, LEGO rushed out Day of the Departed and Hands of Time to fill in the gap. This is why these 2 installments have Dr. Saunders, as well as have a lot to do with the Ninjago Museum. If you look closely at both properties, they have a lot of elements in common. The Ultrasonic Raider, the Temple of Air Jitsu, adding on to Ninjago's history, and many other things I just choose not to list. However, that's not even the strangest thing about this special. There were 2 versions released for Day of the Departed, a Chinese and an English version. At first I thought, oh, since China is so much stricter about the media they expose, so LEGO probably changed a lot to air Day of the Departed in China. But no, if I had known this ahead of time, I wouldn't have watched both specials. And yet here we are. Both versions are basically interchangeable, save for bad animation and a language barrier. So, let's get to the reviewing portion of this video. I never know how to start these things. This is Ninjago's first storyline to truly focus on Cole, at least over the span of a season, or special. Releasing October 29th, 2016, Day of the Departed came out. That's it. It wasn't a truly groundbreaking story. If anything, it's a bit bland. Cole is basically getting mad at Master Yang, the creator of Air Jitsu, because he made the other ninja in Wu forget about Cole, and that he's a ghost. Yeah, Master Yang did that too. That's what I pieced together though. So I'm not entirely sure if this is actually what happens in the story. If I had to make a guess, I wouldn't. I'd delve more into the story, but I want to talk about how the stupid animation looks. Look at this. Who the heck thought, this looks great? If only they had poured the animation budget into one film instead of the 2 versions of the same film, since, in essence, they're the same thing. Whatever. It's not even the main talking point of today's episode. We're not here to talk about the Chinese version. We want not that. So let's get down to business. Is Day of the Departed, the English version, on par with the greatest seasons of all time? Or does it belong in the Departed realm? Is it better than the Ninjago movie? Let's find out.
Ninjago.
No, it's not. Okay, that might be a little rash about that assessment. After all, I'm not Tanner Fishies. Each has goods and bads. So let's get to that, shall we? The animation is incredible. Same with the music. These people can make the best music and animation and still ruin character arcs. Speaking of, this story revolves around Cole, who is scared that he is slipping away from the living world, whatever the heck that means, and is angry at Master Yang, who turned him into a ghost in Season 5. So he decides to kill, do something to Master Yang's ghost. How do you kill a ghost? Instead, he accidentally broke this vase, which set free the departed spirits of Samukai, Cryptor, Chen, Moro, and the general who I forgot the name of. Man, don't you hate it when you do that? Oh yeah, Pythor's here. Yay. The goal of reviving these villains was to give them something to do, I guess. There's no real reason for these guys to be here, besides to ruin perfectly good character arcs. Kuzu, Cryptor, Chen, and Samukai all don't do anything with their characters, which makes no sense. Why bring them back and do nothing with them? You have 3 generals and Chen all in the same room. You couldn't come up with a single way these army leaders could build off each other? Or what about Samukai and Moro, 2 dead spirits? They don't even exchange funny lines. I got your back, Samukai. You don't got the guts to, Moro. Like, how hard was that? The worst offender, or rather offended, was Pythor. At the climax of his character arc in Season 4, he decided to aid the ninja in their struggle against our favorite noodle-loving cult leader, Chen. This has Pythor turn over a new leaf, trying to leave his old life behind. I think it's been a while. And it's not like they forgot this little tidbit. His brief encounter with Lloyd establishes that. The fact that Pythor completely ignores his new character arc to drop a boulder on Lloyd then leave is just stupid. And even worse, they double down and bring him back 9 seasons later to do the same glob darn thing. But we're not talking about crystallized, are we? The only arc handled well here is Moro, who decided to aid the ninja, which honestly completes his arc from Season 5. I got straight with you guys. Moro turning good at the end of Season 5 is dumb. It comes out of nowhere, what with his resenting Master Wu and whatnot, and yet people act like bringing Garmadon back from the dead was a bad thing. Do you really think that? I just kind of said that to say it. I don't know, I think his revival was a good thing. Bringing Moro back, however, allows his arc to conclude. He could have ended Wu right then and there, but he didn't. He could have come back to the world of the living, allowing himself a second chance at destroying Ninjago, or opening up a flower shop, or I don't know what this guy wants. But he doesn't. He could have done all sorts of things, but he didn't, because he doesn't want to. All throughout Season 5, Moro wants to destroy Ninjago because Master Wu had him believe he was more than he actually was. He made Moro think he was invincible, which led to his inevitable death. This creates an anger towards Wu, one stemming from lies fed by a master who doesn't think before he does. Truth be told, Wu deserves his own episode on why he sucks as a teacher, but that will have to wait. My point in all of this is that Moro has every right to hate and want to seek revenge against Wu. But when Wu tries to rescue Moro from death, Moro's eyes are opened. People can change. They can grow from their old ways and strive to be a better being. Now knowing that, he doesn't want to destroy Ninjago. Kinda. This all hinges on a reconciliation between Wu and Moro that never happens in Season 5. He just kinda, helps us out and dies. No fanfare, foreshadowing, just death. Man, let this guy rest. He died 2 times in the same season. But do you know where we can find reconciliation? Day of the Departed. Instead of taking revenge, Moro does the right thing. He warns Wu about Master Gang and his plan, which honestly isn't integral to the plot whatsoever, and further highlights the flaws in having other ninjas serve literally no purpose. But let him have his moment. Ironically enough, the ninja are very forgettable in this special, all besides Cole, who is, like I said, forgotten by the other ninja. The reason for including the other ninja was to pad out runtime, and remind you that these guys are a team that fights a villain alone, like a team. If you remove them from the story, it's the exact same. Same story, same outcome, same waste of time. What a way to disrespect the other ninja. You gave them a fate worse than being sidelined or written out. You gave them filler, which I hate. The only real development from the other ninja is Kai saying, "Oh, what happened to our parents, Neil?" Foreshadowing to the next season. But this method is blunt and lazy and stupid. Why do this to your main characters? To focus all our character development on Cole. Wrong answer. Poor Cole, his first mascot season, and it's downgraded to a mediocre special, and he's forced to fight a subpar villain, and has no character growth at all. Not once does Cole learn any sort of moral or lesson to teach the kiddies watching at home. I first thought it'd be, you're never facing trouble alone. But no, Cole faces Yang all by himself. Matter of fact, he jokes about fighting alone.
Maybe I can do this myself.
Maybe Cole will let Yang try to turn himself into a human instead of stopping him or taking the opportunity to become human himself. But no, by the end of the special, Yang sacrifices himself. Cole didn't earn this. Granted, he does try to convince Yang to become a human instead of himself, but that's just common courtesy. There's not even a real reason to turn Cole into a human. To give him a marketable scar? Even then, that's questionable at best. This doesn't further his character. It just makes his power set more restricted. Call me crazy, but turning invisible and passing through walls is, by definition, cool. At least it used to be. What else is there to talk about? The soundtrack's pretty great, though this is for all Ninjago seasons, especially the Hands of Time. However, that season had a very distinct soundtrack. The rest are either recycled from seasons 1 and 2, or they blend in with each other. So me praising the soundtrack for Day of the Departed is basically praising all of Ninjago's soundtracks. The combat's pretty good, nothing revolutionary or crazy, but it worked. The only fighting that I truly enjoy watching is with Cole. No powers, no mechs, no technology, just weapons and fighting. It looks pretty sweet. The other fights? Well, they're uninspired. And stupid. They're freaking stupid. It mainly relies on non-human feats and stupid technology. The fighting is upwards of boring, but the real, actually plausible fighting is interesting to me. Why is that? I don't know. The voice acting is pretty good. Kirby Morrow, bless his soul, voice acts as Cole, and he does a fair job at voice acting. Everyone else here is as expected. Vincent Tong, Brent Miller, and the rest of the cast do fantastic jobs, and the returning villains do as well as they did before, except for Rector. Sorry, Richard Newman. It's just not your best work. Honestly, watching this special initially, I didn't have as many gripes with it. I thought it was fine. Story, fine. Animation, fine. Voice acting, fine. Except Rector. Sorry again, Richard. I thought the whole thing was fine. Nothing really bad, besides being pretty boring, but nothing that great either. However, as soon as I began writing the script, and by proxy, analyzing the actual contents of Day of the Departed, I realized that I had a lot of issues with the very minute things. Certain story arcs and such, uselessness of most characters, etc., only set me off after I began looking deeper into the actual thing I was watching. Honestly, this is a discussion best left for another day, but I ask all of you fellow reviewers out there, does revising a movie ruin your outlook on it? Sounds contradicting, but I'm living proof stating otherwise, because, as I said before, I thought it was all fine. I'll always be the first to stand up for these plastic martial artists, what with my enjoyment of Crystallized and whatnot, but this special trips over its own feet, bringing in fan-favorite characters that have no actual hindrance on the plot, and having boring part after boring part of the story. If I'm being quite honest, I would have much preferred a 22-minute episode as opposed to a 45-minute special. But let's be real, that would be even worse. I'm only saying this because it would have saved me 20 minutes. Oh wait, I saw this thing twice, so 40 minutes. But I truly don't know how to fix the story. Maybe worm it into the Hands of Time? It would give Cole more to do. Who am I kidding? His character arc would be outshone by everyone else's. Well, besides Jay. Why? Because he has none. That's just embarrassing. Why are the writers so mean to Jay? Anyways, fellow humans, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Actually, no. You don't get a choice. Have a happy Thanksgiving, no matter what you do. Or I'll steal your kneecaps and use them as drink coasters. Besides all of that, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully with fixed captions. Later, nerds.